Howdy friends, Steve DePoe here for the Rose Realty team with this week's real estate vlog. Today we're going to talk about the downsizing process. Now downsizing is really difficult for a lot of people, and we understand it because we actually went through it ourselves. We as Americans in our culture have a bigger is better kind of mentality, right? You go from 3 bedrooms to 4 to 5. You go from parking down the street to 2 garages to 3 garages to 4, right? You go from a postage stamp to 3/4 of an acre in a pool. So that is, we get that. We understand how to go bigger. You're kind of missing something in your life, let's say a pool or an outdoor kitchen. You either build it or you find a place that's got it, right? Going the other direction is a little bit more difficult because we're always expected to go larger and grander. But life changes, things happen, transitions happen. Maybe you want to get closer to the kids. Maybe you just had enough of cutting the lawn, and so you got to decide. Well, we're gonna we're gonna downsize. How do we go about that? And maybe we can help you out here. So step one is to determine your goals and limitations. Right? What do you expect in your new living environment, your new home? The size of the house, number of bedrooms, formal dining room or not, those types of things, right? What kind of space are we talking about? Hey, if we're going to a smaller footprint, likely we're going to go to smaller acreage too at the same time. Or you're looking to get closer to family or friends. Do you want to cut down on maintenance, or is a specific community you want to go into? Did you know that there's something like 16 or 17 active adult communities in the Metroplex, which only makes sense because as the baby boomers start to get older and older, we need places for us to go, right? And live. And so they're starting to kind of pop up all over the Metroplex. A lot of them were really great. A lot of them have all kinds of different amenities. Some were completely full service. Some were less full service. And so hey, we have relationships with most of them, so we can kind of help you out if you need any information. Anyway, so you got to get your list together for the perfect home, for that new home. You get your list together, your wants and your needs and those kinds of things. Then we can begin a new search for you. It's easy with the technology we have. Bing, bing, bing. We can spit out a list of 40, 50, 100 homes that would interest you. We're not going to, of course, go to 100 homes. We're going to narrow that down, but it gives you an idea of how quickly and we can kind of gin up this and get this information together, and we can determine like what the right place, what the right community is for you. Step three is you got to sell your current home, right? You're not going to have two homes, right? It kind of defeats the purpose of downsizing then, right? So begin the process of selling your home. That means tidying it up, fixing up maybe a few, nail holes in the wall, those kinds of things, right? That also get us to understand what the equity is you have in your home and what you'll have moving forward to either put into the new place as a down payment or to invest or to buy new furniture when you go into the new place. We have sort of a special interest in helping homeowners in these kinds of situations because we went through them ourselves about 5 years ago, and so we understand the ins and outs and what you all be facing. So we kind of speak from experience there. So whatever reason you're downsizing, whether it's financial or cost cutting or closer to family or something like that, we've been through it. So we understand the process. Step four is sorting and packing your belongings. This is probably the most difficult of the steps because it's real personal. Okay, it's you built up those tools in the garage when you did all your home projects. Maybe you don't need those anymore. Maybe you're going to go from 3 or 4 car garage down to two. You don't need that fun weekend car that you have. Maybe you're going from 5 bedrooms down to 2 or 3. Which bedroom set do we keep? Oh, this is important because this is where a daughter was born or something like that. Okay, so it's real emotional. But the truth is you'll need fewer and you'll need less possessions, less furniture. And so you have to determine what to keep and what to sell and what to donate and how to do that. If you're going to donate it, there's a lot of great places throughout the Metroplex like Salvation Army, CCA. They take these possessions, they take your old furniture and whatever, and they resell them and then take that money and pump it into their organization to help the less fortunate. It's really kind of cool. Our rule of thumb for you is once you decide what you're going to keep and how much you need to go into the new place, cut another 25 to 35%. Because for two reasons. First of all, the eye is kind of will be distorted a little bit, and you'll basically keep more stuff than you need. Second, once you get into the new place, you're likely to want to buy some new furniture, right? You're not just going to keep the same furniture, so you'll likely want to buy some new furniture. You don't want to store that. You don't want to. First of all, you don't want to put stuff in the storage when you get into the new place. Don't do that. It's just a money suck, right? Number two, if you're going from an existing place, maybe you're building a new place, okay? Then what you're going to want to do is you're not going to want to store that stuff in between spaces. You're going to want to get rid of it, and so you don't have to store it. So cut it down another 25 to 35%, so you have that flex space, if you will. And then number 4.5, get help when you need it. Okay, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you're downsizing, you're probably at a certain age that we're all at. Things ache, you get tired more often. Um, um, don't try to do it yourself. Ask family or friends to help you with the packing or the decluttering. You can also hire a home organizer which will kind of project manage the whole thing. You can get a full service moving company which will pack and label and move it for you. There's also things that have begun cropping up as senior move managers, and they'll organize everything. They'll understand, where you are on the sale of your house, where you are on the either the buy or the construction of the new one. They'll organize everything, including packing and decluttering and all of that. And all you basically have to do is like show up. It's really a good service if it's something that you want to pay for. So the Rose Realty team, hey, actually in the last 2 years have basically helped about 20 families downsize. Um, like I said, it's something that we did ourselves about 5 years ago, and so we understand the process and we understand the trauma, you may want to call it, of going from something larger to something smaller. And we've done this in two ways. We've helped people go into to smaller houses, smaller communities. We've also helped people go from smaller communities to assisted living. So we've kind of come full cycle here, and we understand it. Like I said, there's about 15, 16, 17 active adult communities in the Metroplex, and we have relationships with all of them. If you have any questions, concerns, you just want to talk, we can act as counselors, if you will. Just give us a call. Our names and numbers are at the end of this vlog, and so you can just get our information and give us a call. Hey, next week we're going to talk about the home selling process. So if you're really interested in downsizing, then the home selling process kind of fits nicely into this, and so you may want to stay tuned for that. Next week we will not have our weekly market update. We're going to take a hiatus for August, and so we'll be back probably for beginning middle of September, something like that. This is Steve DePoe for the Rose Realty team. I'm going to bounce.